Back row ministry of the world premiere, Mr. Mahdi coming at you live and direct. Ooh, I need a shade. So, did we call it or did we call it? We said it a long time ago when Kamala Harris popped on the scene that she was going to be placed in a position of presidency, and that's exactly what they did. That's Clarence Avant's girl. Clarence Avant, good friends with the Clintons, so basically you can call this a Clinton White House. And still we're going to be watching to see if this whole game is not an attempt to make her pretty much your first female president, which we talked about that years ago, that Caucasian males do not like their women. I know some Caucasian women who are subscribers here, and I don't have to tell you. I don't have to tell you, ladies. You know that your men do not like you. They do not respect you, and they never have. They never seen you as people of power. That's why all of the majority of your really, really great women have been in other countries, or have been women of color. Remember, your Spanish queens at one time controlled the majority of the world. Women of color. The English or the French, the Francais, the Huguenots were the Francais. Your Queen Elizabeths and all those. Those are the Huguenots. Those are Francais. They ain't English. They're Francais. They were in control for a long period of time, but they were vicious. That's why they kept control. But the American Caucasian woman has never been respected by her man. She's been taught to be docile. I'll give you a little bit of power, but you still have to do pretty much what I say. What I say still goes. Still have to see things my way. And that's what happened in this election. It was pretty much the same. I'm going to stick with the man who has the power, which is why most Caucasian women voted for Trump. It is what it is. But we saw this positioning. We see all these women of color taking their positions, from Kamala to Abrams. And Abrams had the audacity to try to say that she was responsible for Democrats coming out to vote in Georgia. Please, Miss Abrams, please. Georgia, for a long period of time, has been changing. For many years now, over 2 decades, Georgia has been changing. So the majority of people in Georgia has so many problems now because most of the people in and around the Atlanta area are not from that area. Georgia's like New York now. And my idea and thought is that Georgia's going to be the new New York. Basically, that a lot of things that were happening in New York City are going to start happening in Georgia. That's my thought with what they're trying to do in the Atlanta area. But Atlanta's been growing for years. A lot of people from the West, the East, have been coming to New York coming to Atlanta for a long period of time. So that's nothing new. And Abrams, she can't take credit for that. She can't take credit for that. Is she positioning herself for governor? Possibly. When she become governor, it's got to be a lot more changes in Georgia for that to happen. A lot more changes in Georgia. So, Trump is crying. Possibly there could be some more drama inside of this. We'll watch and see if there is additional drama when it comes to this selection. And that's all it is, a selection. And you were kind of forced into the selection. That's why Trump was in position, because we're still inside of this coronavirus environment. So basically, inside of this environment, like we say, it's going to be a lot of pushing when it comes to the vaccine. The vaccine, as we talked about, and Yahi's put out a 7-hour video. He gets more in depth about vaccines, the coming of the masters, and we get deeper into the spiritual part of this, because this is spiritual warfare. This is always what it's been about, preparing yourself spiritually. And for some of us, you might be feeling the pull between yourself and the devil, or yourself and the evil inside of you. That's because the spiritual warfare begins within ourselves first. We have to battle ourselves to get to that point where we are ready to receive the true blessing that's about to come to some of us. So preparing yourself mentally and just going to that spiritual battle with yourself, cleansing yourself, doing whatever you can do to cleanse yourself. But you got to fight that demon inside you. You got to kill off that demon to be able to receive the blessing. So We got the vaccine. What is the vaccine for? What is the coronavirus? We talked a lot about corona having a lot to do with the rays of the sun or the radiation. And that's what this is about. A lot of people, and I want you guys and girls to look up symptoms of radiation sickness. Symptoms of radiation sickness. For those of us who don't want to believe this and keep buying into what the media says, look up the symptoms of radiation sickness. Please do that for me. And you're going to find that 2 common symptoms of radiation sickness is loss of taste and loss of smell. Loss of taste and loss of smell. I want you to look that up for yourself and pass that information on to the people around you. So a lot of people are getting radiation sickness. That's why the children aren't in school, because they pumped up the 5G in school. Think about if you got these high amounts of radiation coming from the 5G transmitters, and now we got kids coming up with cancer. But now we're going to say, what, coronavirus, one symptom is cancer or can cause cancer. No, we can't do that. That's why they're keeping the kids out of the school, because they got so much 5G. 5G is new. So pumping that into school with these kids, they don't know the effect of that. And think about how many kids might come down with the coronavirus. Think about on the campus, how children are starting to come down with symptoms of radiation sickness. So the more they turn up the 5G, the more people that's going to get radiation sickness. Radiation sickness is nothing new. Remember, on nuclear carriers, they have a nuclear reactor. They know how to treat people with radiation sickness, because at times you've had leaks over the years. So there's a vaccine for radiation sickness. Thus why the president, when Trump was out there saying he's going to have the military administer the vaccine, that's what it was all about. They already got the vaccine for the radiation sickness. The military, though, has that vaccine because that's for them. That's for the Navy. That's for the Army. Anytime you get in certain situations where a radioactive weapon might be used for reactors when they might leak. People in the military know this. You just can't have a nuclear reactor and possibility of a leak and nobody there, if somebody gets sick, no cure for it. They got it. They've been had it. And as they keep pumping up the 5G, they know they got to get that out. But it's also there to block certain individuals' ability to absorb this radiation. What if you had a being that could absorb this radiation and then be activated somehow to utilize it? That's the fear. If you remember Project Power, that's what Project Power all about. The young lady, the sister was able to absorb that radiation and then give that to people. She had so much ability to absorb it, she was able to give it to others. So this is what they fear. And you got the gods coming who are going to use these individuals as their tools or their weapons, and that's what they're afraid of. So of course they put the Democrats in power because they need the Democrats to create a puppet society, and they know that black folk or people of color are prone to be puppets of the Democrats. They will do whatever the Democrats say, and of course they put another black person there to get you to do exactly what they want you to do. Quarantines, all that stuff, it's not going away. We're just beginning. I told y'all we were just starting. Y'all think who you think we're going to do the quarantines? The Democrats was going to make people turn against each other. You're going to be quarantining your loved one in a minute because you're afraid of the coronavirus. People of color, you have abilities that the master gave us to do certain things. Can everybody do it? No. But some of us can absorb this energy. Why do you think most of us are not getting sick? Why do you think most of us are not getting sick? Some people can absorb more. As they pump it up, you're going to find out who can really take it. But their whole thing is not to risk it. We got to block everybody. Because if we block everybody, we can track everybody. And we got the tracer programs about to start rolling out. Don't think this stuff has not went away. You need Democrats for this. World War III. You already see this fool. He's going to try to go to war with Korea. Now, we've had nothing going on for the past 4 years with the Koreans, yet he's going to try to go to war with Korea because he's got to be tough on Korea. This is what Democrats do. They take us into these places that we don't want to go. They destroy the country. They destroy the country in a nice, subtle way by obtaining puppets. And we fall for the trick every time. So You got to keep your eyes open. This is a game of attrition. It's chess. They try to block you in, get you to a point where you're going to do or you're going to make a move that's going to get you in trouble. And, you know, like Red Pill and Blue Pill said, I don't agree with everything that they say on Brother Rich show. But they told the truth. A lot of us just voted. A lot of people just voted basically because they didn't like the other person. But they didn't vote for anything that meant anything for them. You think anything's going to change for people of color in this country? No. You going to see a bill for reparations? No. You're going to see none of that stuff. Nothing's going to change. You going to see any bills for police change when you got the police vice president? No. You're not going to see anything. So sometimes you got to learn the hard way. That's the way my daddy taught me. Sometimes we have to learn the hard way. So you get what you pay for. I said that when Trump was in there. I'll say that when as the new regime is in there. In life, you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. And this is what you pay for. For those of us that are working to be more enlightened, keep your eyes open and be awake, be aware. You know, I've been stalling on doing what I got to do, but it's time to make that move. So I got to do what I got to do. But we got to prepare now because game time is over. Now we're boxed in. Now we have to make those moves. DTA, don't trust anybody. DTA, very powerful. Don't trust anybody. Got to be aware of everybody you affiliate with, everybody you associate with, because the game is about to get dangerous. Mr. Mahdi, Back Row Ministry, peace and hair grease.